Hi there, today is my last and final day of the max size program. I just finished my test at Athlean X Pro. He gave us 15 exercises, 3 reps of each one set, but between each group of set of reps, you will hold it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15. That was with weights. When it came to the body weights, it was 25 between each one, and unfortunately the body weights is what really killed me after doing actual weights such as barbells and such. But I passed the Athlean X Pro, which allows me to move on to another program. Okay, in review of the Athlean X size program, you could tell that she put on a large amount of weight and muscle mass on my body. Let me zoom in. All right. When I first began, my bicep curls was at maybe 35 or 30 per arm. I can now do 50 to 60 per arm, which means my 10 rep max was 40s, and then my 15 reps was the classic 35. I'm extremely happy because in my chest portion, I'm not even trying to stick my chest out. There we go. She grew up and she got big. Now, I will admit, as I was warned before, that I did put some extra weight in the mid section. That could also be part of it because I went vacationing in Austin of hiking and eating. And I think I did more eating than hiking. But it was easy to pick up and clean up when I came back and had to get ready for the final week. Other advantages of the Athlean X size is my legs. I was looking at entire changes in there. Before, I had trouble trying to get definition in my legs. Not so much. So, now that 1 week over, let's do a full review. So the Athlean X max size is best for immediates and advanced, in my opinion. Excuse me, stop being off. But he will tell you can do beginners. If you are a beginner and you can go through this program, I want to tip my hat off to you, because this thing came with a lot of I hope you've been working out for a while moments. Prime example, if you don't watch his videos about the checklist of deadlift, squatting, bench press, shoulder press and such, and you jump into this program, you will find an injury fast. So the pros of the program is it works. Anyone says it doesn't work, I don't know what they tell you. As he has shown in other previous AX1, AX2, women's AX, the body's more complicated than what people give props to. Prime example, if you've been just doing bench press all your life, your body will catch up and adapt, and you will see smaller changes. But in the AX max size program, like my bench press, he may just tell me, all right, you need to start doing holds, or you need to increase the weights in this week to do 70% of your 1 rep max, and then the next week it was 50%. Then the following, and back and forward with holds, stretches during your rest. You never really just sit there and go, oh, God, that's exhausting. That happens in the first month somewhat, but the second and third, no, that's gone. Your rest is exercise. Another advantage of it is that as he goes through it, many times he will tell you why you're supposed to do it at that level, why this happens or these stretches. He adds in finishers, which I was introduced to years ago, but I now live and die by. Because no matter how good you are, your body will trick your brain into thinking, oh no, you did it correctly. And you may not have, or you didn't give 100% in certain parts. Well, the finishers clean that up and deal with it. My only negative is one that I brought up in previous weekly reviews. It's that, as I just told you in the beginning, that luckily he had what was called checklists and tips and advantages, and he doesn't bring that over into the program, which to me is kind of a negative. It isn't a huge negative, But if you're a beginner, intermediate, or if you were someone like me who has been in the AX programs for years, but purposely stayed away from the bar because of all the gym fail videos you've watched over time, you kind of have a fear of it. And those small videos of checklists, things he tell you about how people injure themselves while those gym fail videos occur are big. And they end up helping you and learn lessons. So the difference between you and someone who may have been touching the bar for years is that you know the correct, by the book, by medical protectionist ways that you're supposed to lift those weights. Thus, I had no injuries. I want to say that in about a good chunk of the AX programs I have been throughout these, I will come up with one small injury. Usually 9 out of 10, it's my fault. I either eagle lift or I didn't follow the checklist that he may have given me. This time, because of the fear of the barbell, I made sure I followed the rules as stringent as possibly can. You guys, my wife, I was in there with notes. I'm like, okay, whenever I get to the top, I need to squeeze my pecs in so I can activate the core of my chest. And all of that worked. All of it worked. You will see magnificent increasements in weight, speed, and ability. And of course, if you're in it for the aesthetic, which pretty much all of us are really in it for, you will see changes. I'm now wearing a tank top that I started 3 months ago. It's pretty much my perfect tank top or whatever. I put it on for the first time after the beginning of the first week of this program, and man, my traps is really carrying it up. I'm filling out the sleeve portions of my tank tops. Even now, I'm as like, oh man, this sucker is barely on me. And a lot of my shirts have become like that, and that's because of the AX Max Size program. And any ego that I had inside, I'm gonna go to my wife, and she's the one that says, no, you've gotten bigger in a good way. So, who I recommend this for? If you got immediate to advanced levels of fitness, even if you've just been staying on dumbbells only or body weight, you should come do max size. Put on your maximum weight and such. You learn a lot of the instincts. You learn a lot of the necessary points to correctly do bar. And on a side point, I am really tired of the people's hate towards the Smith machine. The Smith machine, in my opinion, is anyone who's in between their 1 rep max or trying to prep and raise themselves to pro level. The Smith machine is not taken away. Most of the time, people are just cheating on the Smith machine. They're jumping around, they're letting the Smith machine's assistants to help them and do most of the work while they're not. Simply by just twisting your wrist so that your arm is in the correct form when you grab the bar, eliminates a vast majority of the safety within the Smith machine. So don't hate the Smith machine. Definitely, if you have an issue with a barbell, you should stay on the Smith machine, build up the strength in the necessary areas, get your necessary checkpoints and lessons in, then go to your free weight barbells. And you'll notice a difference, like, wow, I'm happy I can now do these free weights much better. A good example for me was the dumbbell bench press, which has no assistance in it anywhere else. And I ended up becoming much smoother. I felt less shoulder pains and such. And my my rotator cuff never got thrown into an exercise that it shouldn't have. Easy to correct. And all these lessons I learned from the max size. But if you somehow see this review, please start using your ecosystem and bringing in the AX program, because the AX1 was fantastic for that. There will be a lesson, additional tips. You will go into his YouTube, you'll follow it, you learn. And because he still pushes it towards beginners, he really has to add that in. And I was kind of a beginner when it came to barbells. Not a beginner at fitness, but a beginner at barbells. So his checklist, these extra videos, his extra YouTube shows, those things cleared up a lot of fear. And to a point that I could able to get my wife onto the barbell, and she feared it because for the same reason. You watch a lot of gym fail videos and things go bad because they just don't know about the checklist of, oh, I shouldn't play these games. This isn't a play field. This is a easily to injure, put myself out of mobilization for the rest of my year kind of area. So Will I go through this program again? Yeah, pretty much I probably will. I'm gonna take a week off. I'm gonna just do low intensity cardio and recovery. That'll repair, and then I'm going into the max shred. I also have an oral dentist surgery, so I kind of want time to heal up and not pick up heavy weights. But man, did I love this program. I think the only things I didn't like as I said before, was Jeff Cavaliere, not using his ecosystem so that you get tips and tricks and advice that connect straight to that same day, which I was able to find, and I even created a list of them all. So I'll post them up on my YouTube description for my vlog. And the other one is, this was a personal issue. I just don't like doing the same exercises again, and again. Were they necessary? God, yes. Yeah, they were necessary. You doing them again and again and again builds up your instincts, and builds up your checklist to a point that you no longer have to look at the ball, look around the rack, and make sure you're where you should be. Prime example, the other day I wanted to see where I was in squats, and I felt I was doing anything wrong, so instincts kicked in. Go get a dumbbell, do a goblet squat, know where your feet position is. Oh, so now I put on weight, I have to spread my feet out just a little bit more from my muscle and skeletal frame, and next thing I know, there it was, all up in the legs, all up in the glutes, all through the heels. And that was just then. That's personal. That's me. I know a lot of guys love just doing those 4 exercises again and again and increasing weights. I'm a big fan of HIIT, so I like it when things get more challenging, moving around with the weights and such. But like I said, that was my personal. It is nothing wrong with it. And be honest, considering how bad I was in the beginning, it was a necessary lesson. I had to keep doing these same exercises again and again and again, but they build muscle mass fast and well and solid. So I want to thank Jeff Cavaliere for creating the max size program. You didn't have to, and for only $100 for the rest of your life, you gotta have a NFL pro wrestler level trainer just give it to you. I'm like, dude, he's about $100 to $300 per hour, and he's just giving you this program and tips. Best looking form I have. One of my best forms ever. This is my largest in muscle mass, and I can't wait to go through his AX Shred program, which is full of exercises I love. Head, body weight, change up, and such. So thank you for following my journey through the AX Max Size program, and I can't wait to go ahead and bring you through my AX Shred. I got me a tripod, I got other equipment. It's gonna be fantastic. Have a good one, everybody.